Test 1 2. Mic test 1 2 1 2.
For the first time in school history, we have got a football game taking place on the campus of Midway University, as it is the debut of their new turf field, and it is the battle for the Bourbon Barrel here tonight. Hello and welcome into Midway University. Justin Kalen on the call for you this evening. As for the third time, it is the Bellarmine Knights set to welcome, or Midway set to welcome in the Bellarmine Knights for their home opener for the third straight season. And it should be a fun one here this evening. Bellarmine on the season 2-0 as they are a perfect 2-0 in Midwest Sprint Football League play. Midway looking for that elusive first win, 0-2 on the season. Both losses coming in Midwest Sprint Football League play, as we are just moments away from kickoff here this evening. Just about seven minutes or so until we get this thing underway on a rainy Saturday evening, although the rain has subsided for the most part. Still see a few umbrellas here below me, as there's a lot of people still strolling in here to the new turf field at Midway University. Let's go ahead and jump into our pregame here tonight, as first let's take a look at the Knights of Bellarmine. As I mentioned, 2-0 on the season, and they have really played well thus far. A 27-21 win for them in Week 1 against Quincy, and then a 37-0 win for them last week against Walsh. A phenomenal defensive performance for the Knights in that one, as they had one of the best defensive games in MSFL history, as they held Walsh to negative 8 yards of total offense in that blowout 37-0 win. So that's going to be something to watch here tonight. The defensive effort for the Knights. Can they continue to shut teams out, as Midway will look to change that here this evening? In the win, Tyree Thomas for them, 4 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, forced fumble, and a fumble recovery, as he earned himself the Midwest Sprint Football League's Defensive Player of the Week award. So he's going to be somebody to watch out tonight. So I'll keep an eye on Tyree Thomas, see how many plays he can make for the Knights here tonight against this Midway team. As I mentioned, since the launch of the Midwest Sprint Football League back in 2022, the Knights have been Midway's opponent for all 3 of its home openers, and this is a Bellarmine team that has really established themselves as a potent running team over the years, ever since the creation of MSFL. But really, this season they have been a passing unit, and that is thanks to their quarterback, Kyle Horvath, who has thrown for 495 yards on the season, 5 touchdowns, and just 1 interception through their 2 games so far. So watch the running unit, watch the passing unit as well. Of course, their running back for this Bellarmine team, Brendan Reed. He has been a guy that has been around for a long time. It seems like I don't understand how he can still be playing at this level, but Brendan Reed is a guy to watch tonight. He has tore up Midway over the years, as he has run for 454 yards for an average of 151.3 per game against Midway, 5 touchdowns in those 3 career games against the Eagles. So watch out for Brendan Reed tonight. Watch out for the defense of this Bellarmine team, as the battle for the Bourbon Barrel will commence. It has gone exclusively the way of Bellarmine thus far, 3-0 all time against Midway, as both teams on their sidelines. There you see Midway in front of us in their blue uniforms, the white numbering and lettering on those jerseys, white helmets as well with the gray slate pants. And Bellarmine across the way in their all white uniforms, white pants, white tops, white helmets as well on those jerseys. As now we'll turn our attention to Midway. By the way, a couple more things about Bellarmine. Offensively, scoring 32 points per game. Defensively, allowing just 10.5. So pretty stout offensive team is Bellarmine. Pretty stout defensive team as well. In terms of Midway, they have struggled out of the gate to start the season. A 41-19 loss for them at St. Mary of the Woods in Week 1. And then a narrow 14-0 loss against Oakland City last week. Both of those games on the road. So first home game here for them on the season, as both teams now heading out to the midfield line for the coin toss. Looks like Damian Miller-Durson, Mike Anderson, and Peyton Brazier, the 3 captains for Midway. Brazier second on the team in tackles with 11 thus far. He's tied with Gavin Lay also with 11. Luke Guerrero leads the way for Midway with 12 tackles this season. Guerrero, the linebacker for the Eagles. Brazier, by the way, leads the team with 4 tackles for a loss, 3 of which came last week. And that loss at Oakland City. Really a struggle of a performance last week for the Eagles, putting up just 59 yards of total offense. So looking to build on that here this evening. Head coach Elbert Kern in his first season at the helm for the Eagles. Harold Davis on the sidelines for Bellarmine in his 3rd season for the Knights. As we have wrapped up our coin toss. Now just awaiting the national anthem as we've got just over 2 minutes left on our pregame clock. By the way, punter Preston Moore for Midway was named the Midwest Sprint Football League Special Teams Player of the Week for his efforts last week. More on that after this as we're set for our national anthem. National anthem has wrapped up. Welcome back here into the Midway University turf field. Justin Kalen on the call for you this evening as we are just about set for football. Midwest Sprint Football League action here tonight at Midway University. First time on campus football here at Midway University. Battle for the Bourbon Barrel as they get set to take on the Bellarmine Knights. I talked about Preston Moore prior to the national anthem. Midwest Sprint Football League Special Teams Player of the Week for his efforts at Oakland City. 5 punts for Preston Moore in that contest, all 5 of them inside the 20, as he is the first Midway player to win an MSFL Player of the Week award. So hopefully don't need his leg too much tonight, but they can relax and know that it's a good one when they do need it. As Midway will do the kicking off here first. We'll get to see the potent offense for Bellarmine. By the way, on the season, Midway 9.5 points per game defensively, allowing 27.5. Ball on the tee, toe to leather, and it's a good one, end over end, hauled in around the 15-yard line, and drudging right up the middle with it, all the way up to the 30-yard line. Maybe closer to the 35. They're going to mark it down at the 34. Good return there for the Knights, and that's where they will start their first possession. Looked like Derek Gant on the return that time. Now we'll see how Bellarmine decides to attack things here in the early going. Ivan Dutzar, the running back in the backfield. as he's in motion now. Looking to throw this one to the right and complete. Going to be close to a first down. As Kyle Horvath, the freshman, 6'3", out of Lando Lakes, Florida, fires it to his man, and they are going to give him the first down. So ball now nestled on the 45. As Horvath this time with the backfield empty. 5 wide as he's looking to toss this one's got to get out of there as he's facing some pressure, and he's able to get out of bounds for a gain of 5, maybe even 6. Gavin Lay was chasing him down. And that'll bring up second down now, 2nd and 5 here. Gant, the running back in the backfield, just to the right of Horvath. 2 receivers each side of the formation here as Horvath awaits the snap. He's going to hand this one off. Trying to get to that outside right edge, and no good there, as good job there by Midway. Closing the gap, looked like Peyton Brazier, Jamarian Taylor combining for the tackle. Brings up 3rd down and about 3 here. Maybe closer to 4. Officials perhaps getting a new football here. That'll be the case throughout this game, I'd imagine. Mentioned the rain has stopped for the most part, but still tons of moisture on the ground. Actually, it looks like in the lights on the far side of the stadium, rain has picked back up. Horvath once again looking to throw. He's got his man. That's Gant streaking down the right sideline. And shoves through one guy and gets all the way down to about the 20-yard line. They're going to say he's inside the 20-yard line at the 19. Second first down here on this opening drive for the Knights. As they're inside the red zone here. Now Horvath looking to his left. He's got a man open, and they're going to say touchdown, as that was Shannon Tong on the reception. Tong has been very good for them this season as he leads this receiving group with 170 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season. Make it 3 touchdowns now as he has the 19-yard reception there. So Bellarmine starts it off with the quick score. Beautiful ball from Horvath to Tong. And now awaiting the extra point here. Snap and hold are good, but we get a whistle prior to the extra point. Bellarmine sideline going nuts. Not sure what just happened there. We're going to call offsides against Midway, so first penalty of the game. That'll move the ball half the distance to the goal, so perhaps they're going to go for 2 here, and it looks like they will. 4 in the backfield. Interesting formation as they're all going to line up here. And the handoff trying to go right up the middle, and he's going to be short. So a great job there defensively by Midway as it'll remain just a 6-0 game. But Bellarmine strikes first on the 19-yard touchdown pass from their quarterback, Kyle Horvath to the arms of Shannon Tong from 19 yards out. Now we'll see how Midway can answer here. A quick drive there for Bellarmine. Just used 2 minutes 52 seconds of game clock. And that was an issue for Midway last week in their game against Oakland City. Oakland City held the ball for over 44 minutes of gameplay. Hard to score when you can't touch the football. As now Bellarmine set to boot this thing away. Eagles will get their first crack at things here. Jabari Burnett, the 5'10 freshman from Lexington. Back deep to receive this kickoff. And it's a beautiful kick, end over end, as Burnett hauls it in at the 15. And he's going to work it to the right, and a good return here as he gets it up to about the 33-yard line. And that is where the Eagles will begin their first drive of the night. They trail 6-0. Here we go with Midway. See if they can answer here on their first drive of the game. As it's going to be a handoff up the middle. Christian Carter, the quarterback for this Eagles team, a freshman. 5'11" from Huntsville, Alabama. I believe that was Charles Adams he handed that last one off to. Awaits the snap, claps, and gets it. He'll hand this one off as well, and not a lot of room there. Is a great job clogging up the hole was Bellarmine. That was Mike Anderson, the sophomore, on the carry that time. And that's going to bring up third down now, 3rd and about 8 upcoming. We're going to say 3rd and 9. As the ball sits right on the 34-yard line. Carter looks around. Now he shifts Mike Anderson from right to left. He'll look to throw here, faces some pressure, steps up in the pocket's got some room, dives forward, but he's going to be about 4 yards shy of that first down marker. And Midway is going to have to punt this thing away. Preston Moore will get a chance to shine early here in this one. Wearing number 17, standing back right around the 24-yard line here. And Moore with a fantastic kick here, as that's going to be bobbled. And he is struggling to pick it up. We'll see if he was able to jump on top of it, and he was. But yet another punt for Preston Moore, landing inside the 20-yard line. This one inside the 10-yard line, as the Knights will start this next drive at the 9. What a commodity it is to have a guy like Preston Moore who can flip the field like that. Horvath back in at quarterback for the Knights. Will hand this one off. Off tackle to the left. And a gain of 1, maybe 2 on the carry. Get another great job there defensively by Midway. I'll bring up 2nd and 8 as they give him 2 yards on that carry. Horvath, empty backfield, 5 wide. No surprise, looking to throw this one, throws it to the right, and his man slipped. And it landed right in the middle of 2 Eagle defenders. Neither of them had a chance to get to it, so fortunately for the Knights, it falls harmlessly to the turf, but that will bring up 3rd down, now 3rd and 8. Horvath with an empty backfield again. Takes a snap, chased out of the backfield, being chased by a number of Eagles, and throws it, and that is going to be incomplete. Intended for Derek Gant. Unfortunate, no flag there, as could have been perceived as a late hit by the Midway defender, but either way, they forced the punting situation here. And they're going to have the ball at great starting field position, ideally. Michael Hardison, the freshman, back to punt this thing away for Bellarmine. High snap, but Hardison able to go up and get it. End over end punt, and that's going to be caught at the 39 with some momentum, and gets it all the way up to the 30. It was Lucas Wilder on the return. And Midway will start with great starting field position here. See if they can't even it up on the scoreboard, maybe even jump on top as they trail 6-0 as it stands now. 9 minutes left here in this first quarter. Carter waiting in the shotgun. He's got it here, fakes the handoff, throws it over the middle. Unfortunate that ball falls harmlessly to the turf, as that was intended for Keegan Hill, but it was tipped by a defender and lands right around the 15-yard line, so that could have been way worse than it was. Now it just brings up 2nd and 10. Carter will throw again, as he is actually going to be dropped down in the backfield, and the ball comes loose. We'll see what they call here. Looked like it came out after he was downed, but they're going to say Bellarmine football. Not sure I agree with that one. As it stands now, the first penalty of the game, and back out comes the Bellarmine offense. And here we go, back with Kyle Horvath in at quarterback. And much like it's been most of the night, empty backfield for him here. 3-step drop, faces some pressure, and he is going to be slung down to the ground. Peyton Brazier getting into the backfield and dragging him to the turf. And that's going to be a significant loss on first down. We'll bring up 2nd and 15 here. 2nd and 14. Touched on Brazier in our pregame here tonight. He has been very good so far this season. Already a couple tackles here in this one. Now Horvath with a man in motion, gonna hand this one off, and once again, nothing doing, and once again, it's Brazier coming up with the tackle. Brazier. Under 8 to play here in this first quarter. 3rd and long here for the Knights. Once again, empty backfield for Horvath. He's got time here. Now he's got to try to escape the pressure, fires one deep down the field, and has a man, but it's incomplete. There is a flag in the backfield. That's going to be a holding call against Bellarmine, but Midway will decline that, as that'll bring up a 4th and 15 now, and the Knights will have to punt it away. As back out comes Michael Hardison. Another good punt here for Hardison as it's hauled in right around the 22. And trying to work it right up the middle beyond the 30-yard line was Lucas Wilder on the return. And Midway will start their next drive here, starting at the 33-yard line. Breaking huddle now, coming up to the line. Carter awaits the snap. And he'll hand this one off, and a leap over the defender. It's going to result in a gain of 7, but the highlight leap there as Quintel Thomas, the freshman running back. Extra effort there to gain a couple extra yards. Carter on 2nd and 4. Fires this one off to the left. And that's going to be caught for the first down. Preston Moore on the reception that time. And Midway picks up their first down of the ball game. They're getting closer to Bellarmine territory here. Down to 6 minutes left in this first quarter. As handoff again, right up the middle, and that is going to go a long way for the touchdown. 54-yard touchdown carry by the freshman Quintel Thomas, and Midway has knotted this thing up. What a burst of speed there by Thomas, as he saw that hole open up and just busted right through it. Down that left side, nobody was catching him. And now Midway with the extra point here to take the lead. Wilder's kick is up, and it doinks off the upright. So we are going to stay knotted up here. So after Bellarmine went for the two-point conversion after their touchdown and couldn't get it, Midway with the missed extra point here. So we will remain at 6-6. As we have got 5:54 left here in this first quarter. Back and forth affair so far. On the way, Bellarmine back in 2022. 538 yards of offense against this Midway team. Midway defense looks much more up to the task here tonight in this one thus far. Set to punt this thing away. Kick this thing away, Lucas Wilder. The lefty with toe to leather, and another good kickoff here as it's hauled in at the 16. Now trying to streak up that right side. Fumble They say the ball came loose. Midway thinks they have it. And they do. What a change of events there as Midway, after the score, takes back over after the fumble on the kick return. And they will start with the ball in great starting field position here to try to jump on top for the first time tonight. And that Eagles sideline jacked up. Marion Riddick, I believe the guy that poked that thing loose. As Carter going to throw this one, what a snag there. As it's going to go for a gain of close to 5, maybe even 6. As Mike Anderson hauled that thing in. It was the one-arm grab. Brings up 2nd and 5 now. Quintel Thomas back in at the running back position, just off to the left of Carter. And he will hand it to Quintel Thomas, who finds some space and will advance up for another first down. But I guess that ball came loose because Bellarmine now heading the other direction with it. And they will take back over. After just forcing the fumble themselves, they give it right back 2 plays later. And that's unfortunate because Quintel Thomas had the first down with ease. Second turnover here in this first quarter for Midway, as we've still got 5 minutes to play in the quarter. Horvath under center this time as he turns around, flips it to his back. And Derek Gant stopped after a minimal gain, about 2 yards on the carry. As that was Cordavian Hines coming up for the tackle. Brings up 2nd and 8 here. Horvath breaks huddle. Sends 2 receivers to each side once again. Takes the snap. And this is going to be a handoff here to the right side. And once again, the Midway defense ready for it. I believe that was Peyton on the tackle again. Jamarian Taylor also in on that tackle. Marion Taylor with a couple of tackles so far here in this first quarter. As Horvath, quick throw to the right. And had his man open, that was Tyler Smith, his intended target. But he just sent it a little too far outside, and that's going to bring up 4th down, and Bellarmine will have to punt it away again. Well done thus far by the defense of Midway. So they'll get the football back here with yet another opportunity to jump on top on the scoreboard. Snap a little low, but the punt's going to be a good one. And takes a friendly Bellarmine bounce. As Midway lets it go, and that's going to be inside the 20 all the way down to the 16. Make it the 17. Lucas Wilder probably would have been wise to haul that thing in. Save his team about 20 yards on that punt, but alas, it's going to be inside the 20-yard line for Midway starting here. Christian Carter trying to lead his team down the field once again. As it's going to be a handoff here, and trying to get up the middle there was Mike Anderson. But he did a nice job there to pick up about 5 yards on the carry. Give him 4 as that'll bring up 2nd and 6. 3 minutes to play here in this first quarter. Carter with Anderson to his right. Faces some pressures, got to get out of there. Now he's looking for some blocking. And a great job he might have even gained a yard on that carry, at least at the very worst got back to the line of scrimmage. Well, that's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 now, but first we got a penalty to deal with. And it's actually going to go against Midway, so back them up. So much for the effort. So that'll be a holding penalty. 2nd time tonight Midway has been flagged. So it will remain 2nd down now, 2nd and 16 following the 10-yard penalty. Carter once again chased out of the backfield, and he is going to be hit down near the end zone, right around the 2-yard line. So that's going to set up an even longer 3rd down now. Third and not sure I can do that math. 3rd and a long way here. As Carter going to hand this one off, and once again tackled near the goal line. They're going to rule he did get back out to the 1, so flirting with a safety there, but Midway going to bring up a 4th down, and they're going to have to punt this thing away. And that should give Bellarmine good starting field position once more. So we're down to just over 90 seconds left here in this first quarter. Lance Weeder back to return for Bellarmine, standing right around the 40-yard line. And at the back of the end zone, Preston Moore lucky to get that thing out. And it's going to take a friendly Midway bounce beyond the 40 and down between the 43 and the 44. So now we'll see how the Midway defense can stack up. Been pretty solid all game thus far. Best starting field position of the night for Bellarmine. We've got just over a minute left to play. Quickly back up to the line. Horvath in shotgun once again as he's got a man in motion. That's Tyler Smith from right to left. Now it's going to be Gavin Brazel from right to left, as Horvath will hand this one off. Not a whole lot of room there, however, as a number of Eagles in on the tackle there. As Byron Wallace, one of those guys, he actually came out of that huddle with the football, claiming he took that thing away, but alas, it's going to bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 8 upcoming now. Bellarmine will have to run at least one more play here. As Horvath this time all by himself in the backfield. Fires this one to the left, and that's going to way overshoot his man. Brings up 3rd down. 3rd and 8 now. Beautiful looking throw there by Horvath. About 6 yards too far. Now we'll see what they dial up here on 3rd down. Horvath once again all by himself. He's got the snap. Looks up the middle, now rushes to his right, now throws to his right, has his man, and that's going to be good enough for the 1st down. Derek Gant on the reception, and that's going to end the 1st quarter of play. All knotted up at 6 after 1. Bellarmine 6, Midway 6, but Bellarmine driving here as we get set to begin the 2nd quarter of play. We'll step aside for a break as well. Stick with us. You're watching Midwest Sprint Football League from Midway University. Look at some of your 1st quarter statistics on the screen there as we are knotted up at 6 apiece after 1. It's a 19-yard touchdown pass for Bellarmine to get the scoring started as Kyle Horvath landed it right in the arms of Shannon Tong, who scored the game's opening touchdown. Midway's touchdown came via the legs of Quintel Thomas, a 54-yard rushing touchdown. As Bellarmine went for 2 after their touchdown, couldn't convert. Midway couldn't get the extra point as it dinked right off the goalpost. So 6-6 we are as we start the 2nd quarter of play. Justin Kalen back here with you at the brand new Midway University turf field. First time football being played on campus at Midway University. Now in their 3rd season of Sprint League football. As Horvath remains in the backfield all by his lonesome, getting chased out of there, and he'll take off with it and able to pick up the 1st down. Great pursuit there by Trenton Leach, the sophomore defensive end, but couldn't quite catch Horvath. As that's going to be Bellarmine's 4th 1st down of the contest. And threatening to get their 2nd score up on the board. Leach going to come over to the Midway sideline after that pursuit. Horvath, 2 to each side of the formation, but he's going to move Tyler Smith from right to left. Takes the snap, hands this one off, and nothing doing there. Once again, great job defensively by Midway. They get into the backfield in a hurry. Ball on the 13. Make it the 14. Horvath surveys, fires to his right, has his man. And that's going to be enough for the 1st down, but he wanted the touchdown. However, they're going to land a couple yards shy. So 1st and goal from the 2 now. As we're through 2 minutes here in this 2nd quarter. Horvath going to keep it himself And nothing doing there as he's going to be gang tackled by a host of Eagles. Ball does pop out at the end, but they're going to rule that he was already down. However, it is a significant loss. As that'll make it 2nd and goal now from, it's like the 6-yard line. Horvath huddles his team up. Now they break that huddle. And tossing it to the corner of the end zone. That ball nearly picked off. But it falls harmlessly to the turf if you're a Bellarmine Knight fan. That was Omarion Riddick on the defense that time. Riddick already a couple big defensive plays here in this one. It's 3rd and goal now here for Bellarmine, as there was a flag down on the field, but looks like they're waving it off. A host of substitutions here for the Knights. .09 left here in this first half of play. Big 3rd and goal here. Horvath once again all by him lonesome. Looks to his left, now throws to his right. And another great defensive effort as that ball falls to the turf. That was Lucas Wilder on the defense that time. And that makes it 4th and goal, and it looks like the Knights bringing out the kicking unit. Try to put this one through. As this will be a 20-yard attempt. The snap a little high. The hold good, and the kick is up and in as well. So field goal is good, and Bellarmine back on top, down 9-6. That one was kicked through from 20 yards. Now Midway will take back over. See if they've got an answer. Their lone score of the game came on a 54-yard rushing touchdown. Quintel Thomas, the freshman. Also had a really nice carry on that last drive, but he fumbled it away at the end. Midway with 2 turnovers in that first quarter. Got to cut down on the turnovers. Now set to kick this thing away for Bellarmine. Furio Barak. Barak sends it away. Hauled in right around the 20-yard line, working it to the right. And a good return here as he's beyond the 40, chased out of bounds. Well done there by Javari Burnett. And Midway will start with the ball in good starting field position again. We'll see if they can go down and get a score up on the board. As we've got just under 12 minutes to play here in this first half. Back out comes Christian Carter in the Midway offense. Preston Moore, the near side receiver. Got Keegan Hill off to the right of him. Carter looking to throw this one, fires it down the right side and lands right in the middle of a couple Midway receivers that time. Looked like Miller Durson and perhaps Lucas Wilder out there on that right side. So brings up 2nd and 10 here. Carter this time going to hand it off, trying to work it right up the middle, and nothing doing that time. As that was Quintel Thomas on the carry, fortunate to just get back to the line of scrimmage. That Bellarmine defense all over him that time. Read that play perfectly, as that'll bring up 3rd and 10 now. Carter wants to throw this one, and actually now just going to take off with it. It uses his legs and spins past the defender, and I think that was enough to give him the first down, and it was. What an effort there by Christian Carter, a freshman quarterback. Just the 2nd first down of this first half for Midway. So we're down to 11 minutes left in the quarter. Carter will remain in the shotgun. Flips this one off to the left. He's got some room to work, but that gap closes quickly as he maybe picks up a yard on the carry that time. It was Mike Anderson on the carry. We're going to give him a gain of 1, so makes it 2nd and 9. Here they come now, back up to the line on 2nd and 9. With 10 minutes to play here in this first half. Mike Anderson remains the running back off to the right of Carter. Now Carter will throw this one. He's got his man out there, but leaves it just short. Was intended for Damian Miller Durson. So that'll bring up 3rd down now, 3rd and 9. Here we go on 3rd and 9. Midway needing a big play here as they trail by 3. Carter gets chased out of there, fires one off to the right. Anderson on the reception, and he is able to skirt forward for a gain of about 5. So perhaps a decision to make here, as that'll bring up 4th and 5. However, Midway is in Bellarmine territory. It looks like they want to keep the offense out there. Although hard to tell because Preston Moore, the punter for this team, also acts as a receiver. And they are indeed going to go for it as they've got the ball at the 49-yard line. And prior to the play, we are going to get a timeout taken by Midway. Probably a good decision here for the Eagles. Great call there by head coach Elbert Kern, who I mentioned in his first season will meet with his squad with 9:16 remaining here in this first half. We'll step aside for our break ourselves, come back, and we'll see what Midway decides to do. Looks like a change of heart during the timeout as the Eagles come out in their punt formation as they trail by 3, 9-6, with 9:16 left to play here in this first half. Preston Moore standing back right around the 35-yard line. Snap a little high, and he's got to run to his right to get this thing away, and he does so. Takes a friendly Midway bounce, and all the way down once again inside the 20-yard line, so the streak continues for Preston Moore. Coming off that MSFL Player of the Week last week. And the rain continuing to fall here at Midway University's new turf field. So we've got 9 minutes left here in this first half. See how the Bellarmine offense decides to attack things here, coming off a 20-yard field goal on their last drive. Horvath, Rarity with two running backs in the backfield with him. He'll hand it to the one from the right. And nothing doing there, as it's going to be another minimal gain on the ground. Can't state enough how well this Midway defense has done against the run thus far tonight. The Bellarmine team, very vaunted running unit. Now on 2nd and 9. Horvath looks to his right. Now he's got the snap as he'll look to throw this one. Rolls out to the right. Fires out to the right, and he's got his man, and that's going to be just enough for a first down. Picks it up by about a yard as Tyler Smith comes up with the reception that time. 6th first down here of the evening for the Knights. So we're down to 8 minutes left in the half. Horvath with a man in motion. That's Nathan Kitchens from right to left. Instead, it's going to be a handoff right up the middle, and once again, just a minimal gain. So it looked like Aiden Weatherholt coming up to make the tackle, the freshman linebacker. Brings up 2nd and 9 here. Horvath looking to throw again. This one off to the left, and once again another first down. That was Derek Gant on the reception that time. We're down to 7 minutes left in the half. Bellarmine chewing up some clock here. Much like Oakland City able to do last week against Midway. Horvath shuffles around as running back. Now he'll give it to him, and once again another great defensive effort for the Eagles. Marion Taylor on the tackle that time. Brazzelli on the carry that time. Second and 9 upcoming now for the Knights. As Horvath going to throw this one to the right, and that is going to be knocked out of there. Great defensive play there by Omarion Riddick, who read that play perfectly. He backed off of his receiver and then almost read it perfectly to come in and get the interception, but a smidge too late, but he breaks it up nonetheless. And that'll bring up 3rd and 9 now, under 6 to play. Sounds like potentially a big play here in this game. As Midway, as I mentioned from the top, still looking for their first win against this Bellarmine Knights program. Stop here could help them go a long way in achieving that goal, as the stop is going to happen well before the first down marker. And this Midway defense playing with their hair on fire tonight, as Tong could not get anything going after the catch. And once again, it was Riddick coming up for the stop. That'll bring up 4th and 5, so Bellarmine going to punt this thing away. As Lucas Wilder waiting back around the 25-yard line. Snap's a good one. The punt's a great one. As Wilder hauls it in, he'll try to advance down the middle of the field, spins away from one defender, and gets up to the 40-yard line. Another good return by Lucas Wilder, who has had a couple of them so far in this one. And Midway will take over with 5:06 left here in this first half of action. We'll see how they attack things here to try to go down and get a score prior to the halftime break. As Carter says something to his running back, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right as well. As Carter will hand this one off, and lots of room there as he nears the first down marker. Picking up about 9 on the carry was Quintel Thomas. I think that was Quintel Thomas. Either way, picks up about 8 on the carry. Maybe even closer to 9, as they got a 2nd and 1 up on the scoreboard. Once again, it's going to be a handoff. This time it is Thomas. And he's able to pick up the first down with ease, as Midway back into Bellarmine territory with their 3rd first down of the night. And we're down to 4 minutes left to play here in this first half. Another handoff right up the middle. And a good push from behind as they're able to pick up about 4 yards on the carry. That was Thomas again, who's had a very effective first half here tonight. Quickly approaching the line. Just over 3:15 left here in this first half. As Carter, a couple different guys jumped. Midway thinks this is against Bellarmine. He's Preston Moore. Excited here on the near side, as the official's going to have a discussion about it. And it is indeed going to be offsides against Bellarmine. First penalty of the night for the Knights. And it's going to set up a manageable 2nd and 1 now here for Midway. Couple of substitutions coming on and off. Quintel Thomas coming out of the game. The freshman Mike Anderson back out there. Under 3 to play, as Anderson will get the carry right up the middle, and the first down with ease. So a fresh set of downs now for the Eagles, who continue to advance down the field. The ball now at the 33-yard line. Would be huge to get points here before our halftime break. As we're We're down to 2.5 minutes left in this first half. Carter now going to hand it, or fakes the hand. No, he does give it to Anderson, who gets to the outside right, picks up about 3 yards on the carry. Looked like a flag came out late following that run. And now the officials will have a discussion and figure out exactly what's going on here. Mike Anderson looked like he had more room to that right side of the field, but it was the speed of Bellarmine closing in on him. And he will come out of the game as Quintel Thomas back on. And nothing comes of it. So 2nd and 8 upcoming following the 2-yard carry by Anderson. We've got about 2 minutes left here in this first half. A briskly played first half. As Carter going deep, had his man, but unable to reel that one in was Keegan Hill. Beautifully thrown ball, hit Hill right in the midst. But he was unable to haul that one in, and that'll bring up 3rd and 8 now. And prior to that play, looks like we're going to get a timeout called here with 1:59 left in the half. So both teams will head over towards their sidelines. And interested to see what type of play Midway draws up here during this timeout. See what Elbert Kern can just give to his team for a chance to pick up a good chunk of these yardage. See if you can get some points here before the halftime break. Feels imperative if you're Midway. Looking for that first win of the season, looking for that first win over Bellarmine. And in good position tonight to do both of those things, but ideally get some points here before the halftime break. As the Eagles working their way back out onto the field, Bellarmine right behind. As now here we go on the 3rd and 8. As Carter's got it, throws this one out to the left. Short little pass into the flat, and he's got some room as he's chased out of bounds right around the 20. And Quintel Thomas picks up another first down for the Eagles of Midway. 5th time tonight they've crossed the first down sticks and inching closer to a big score prior to our halftime. Carter on 1st and 10 from the 20. Takes the snap, hands this one off right up the middle, and nothing doing that time for Thomas. Number of Knights coming through that line to get the stop, but Thomas somehow gets back to the line of scrimmage. Now here we go on 2nd and 10. Carter with Thomas off to his right. Has the snap, looking to his left. Now fires it to the right. He's got a man back there. And incomplete is the ruling on that far side of the field. It was a well-thrown ball. I thought the receiver was able to get back to it and slide his hands underneath it, but not the case, as it was Damian Miller-Durson, the intended target that time, as that'll bring up 3rd and 10 now with 1:14 left here in this first half. As Carter now on 3rd and 10. Waits the snap. We'll see what they draw up here. He's got it, fakes the handoff, fires this one to his left, and that thing is going to be knocked down. Could have been picked off, but the defender just knocked it straight down. That was Vernon Duncan on the coverage that time, and that'll bring up 4th and 10 now. Looks like the offense is going to hang out. So we've got just over a minute left. And they are indeed going to go for it here. Big play. It's Christian Carter. He's got Mike Anderson off to his left. Carter obviously will throw. Now he'll take off with it using his legs, and he is able to pick up the first down. What an effort there by the quarterback. Christian Carter, the freshman, no fear. Trudges right up the middle and keeps the possession alive for the Eagles. We're down to a minute left here in the first half. And prior to that play, we are going to get a timeout, as it is a 1st and goal situation here for the Eagles. Ball at the 8-yard line. Like I said, a massive play, or set of plays coming up prior to our halftime break. Midway can somehow get on the board here. Take some momentum into the halftime locker rooms. Would be huge. Coming out into the second half of play to have that momentum. And they're fired up, ready to go. Not much time spent on their sideline at all, as they're already back out there. Now Bellarmine right behind them, as we've got 54 seconds left here in this second quarter. Referee's whistle. Here come the Eagles up to the line. Preston Moore, the wide receiver, off to the left here on the near side like he's been all night. As Carter takes the snap, works it right up the middle of the field and able to get inside the 5-yard line up to the 4. So 2nd and goal upcoming. Midway still with one timeout, as Carter will keep it again on the quarterback delay. And not much doing there, as he looks fortuitous to get it back to the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and goal now from the 4. And under 20 seconds to play here in this first half. As I mentioned, Midway does have that one timeout, but you've got to show some pace here if you want to be able to call it with a chance for the field goal. As Carter going to work it right up the middle, and he is going to be sacked with 2 seconds left, and a quick timeout taken by the Eagles. Albert Kern on it. Gets that timeout called just in time. That could have been disastrous for Midway as we approach the halftime break here. And they are going to opt to go for the field goal here, try to tie this thing up. Bellarmine will head to the sideline prior to that. And Midway right behind them will head to their sideline. So one final play here in this first half of action. As I mentioned, a briskly played first half of action. Feels like classic football weather here tonight. 62 degrees, rainy. However, that rain is supposed to dissipate and work its way out here within the next hour or so. That feels weird to say. So here we go, field goal attempt to try to knot things up. This would be a 29-yarder. Wilder lines it up. The kick is up. And it looks like it goes through, and it does. So 9-9, the score at our halftime break. A very entertaining first half of play, as it was 6-6 after one quarter of action. Both teams with a field goal in that second quarter, and we have got a good one cooking here tonight through one half of play. We'll see if it's able to remain this good in the second half of action. But for now, we'll step aside for our halftime break, come back on the other side, and we'll give you some first half stats as well as get you set ready for the second half of play. Stick with us. We've got more Midwest Sprint League or Midwest Sprint Football League action coming up here from Midway University. 9-9 our score, as we have got just a couple minutes left here in our halftime break this evening. Bellarmine Knights 9, Midway Eagles 9 through the first half of play in a very competitive first half of action, as it was Bellarmine getting the scoring started with a touchdown strike from their quarterback Kyle Horvath into the arms of Shannon Tong from 19 yards out with 2:52 left in that first quarter. However, they attempted the two-point conversion following that touchdown, and that attempt was no good. So the score was 6-0 at that point, but Midway battled right back with a 54-yard rushing touchdown from Quintel Thomas. They went for the extra point to try to garner the lead in that situation, but they shanked the extra point. It actually clanged off of the goalpost, so it would remain a 6-6 game. At that point, Bellarmine did come back with a 20-yard field goal deep into that second quarter. Midway with a 29-yard field goal moments before our halftime break to give us our 9-9 score right here on Midway University Turf Field. First on-campus game in school history. Justin Kalen back here with you as we are just about set for the second half of action. But let's take a look at some of our first half statistics. Bellarmine with 8 first downs in that first half. Midway with 7. 14 rushes for 25 yards for Bellarmine. 26 rushes for 111 rushing yards for Midway, so very effective on the ground for the Eagles in that first half. 122 total yards for Midway, 131 total yards for Bellarmine. Bellarmine with 1 turnover in that first half, Midway with 2 of them. Bellarmine 1 penalty for 5 yards, and Midway with 2 penalties for 12 yards. Possession time pretty much even. Bellarmine had it for 15 minutes, 12 seconds. Midway with 14 minutes and 48 seconds of possession time. And it was Bellarmine football first here tonight, so Midway will receive the second half kickoff here. They can snag an early score and grab some momentum here to begin this second half of play. It's been a thoroughly entertaining first half. Hopefully we get something similar here in this second half of play. As Barack set to boot this thing away. 2 kickoffs for an average of 48 yards for him so far tonight. As toe to leather, this one much better, as that is skied back to the 10-yard line where it's hauled in and trying to get beyond the 20, and now he is going to be gang tackled while still on his feet up to the 25-yard line. Good return there by Javari Burnett. And Midway will start their first drive of the second half from the 25-yard line. What they can do here, as I mentioned, very effective on the ground in that first half. Quintel Thomas had a few really good rushes in that first half. Mike Anderson as well. Both those guys on the ground with big first halves. And this one going to be batted up in the air and fortunately falls harmlessly to the turf. By the way, in that first half, Quintel Thomas with 95 rushing yards on 10 carries. Good for a 9.5-yard average. That'll do. Also had that touchdown scamper. Mike Anderson on the other side of things, 7 carries for 16 yards. Seemed like his first half was a lot better than that, as it's going to be Thomas on the carry here, and he's going to lose yardage, about a yard on the carry that time. As that'll bring up a 3rd down now, 3rd and long. Second halves for Midway this season. I won't bring up the numbers, but they have not been good in terms of the scoring. So hopefully that trend changes here in this one tonight. As Carter in the shotgun. This time he'll throw. He fires this one down the left side and had a man, Preston Moore, who went up to try to secure that thing, but knocked away by the Bellarmine defender. Great job that time by Vernon Duncan, the defensive back who's made a number of plays thus far tonight. That'll bring up 4th down, and Preston Moore will go back to punt this thing away. Bellarmine player waiting around the 42-yard line to receive this punt. Moore has the snap now, and another fantastic punt for him, as it's going to be fair caught at the 41-yard line, barely, as that was interesting by Lance Weeder. And Bellarmine set to take their first possession of this second half of play. Much like that first half, good starting field position for them. Now here we go. As Horvath from shotgun turns around, hands this off to his running back, who works it right up the middle of the field. And a big-time run there by Orlando Roblero. Works it right up the middle of the field. I stand corrected. That was actually Brendan Reed on the carry. The Eagle killer. As Reed remains in the backfield here. Quiet first half. Brendan Reed actually didn't log a carry in that first half. So here's his second here. Bounces off a tackler. Now a second, and he advances up for a gain of about 7 on that carry. So Reed, no carries in that first half, but back-to-back here for a nice little chunk of yards. Here we go now on 2nd and 3. Reed switches from left to right. Horvath has it. This time he looks to throw. Fires a deep ball. He's got his man, and that is going to be caught. They're going to say he was out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. What a connection there. And Bellarmine looking for another score here. 10th first down of this game for Bellarmine. I believe that was Tong on the carry again, or on the reception, I should say. As here we go, 1st and goal. Ball at the 2-yard line. Horvath this time under center. A rare position for him as he'll turn around, hands it to Reed, but Midway ready for it. As they drag him down for a loss. I'll tell you what, the Midway rush defense in this one has been very good. Mentioned just those 25 yards rushing in that first half for Bellarmine. Now 2nd and goal, ball at the 5-yard line. Horvath, prior to that snap, we're going to get a flag fly out. And that's going to be a false start. So just the 2nd penalty of the game called against Bellarmine. Let's back him up 5 more. So it'll remain 2nd and goal, with the ball now on the 10-yard line. Horvath, Reed off to his right. Looking to throw, fakes, and has his man right in the middle of the end zone for the 10-yard touchdown pass. And Bellarmine back on top, as that was number 3, Shandon Tong on the reception, his 2nd touchdown catch of the ball game. And Bellarmine takes a 15-9 lead pending this extra point. We'll see if they're able to knock it through. 19 yards the first time around. From Horvath the Tonk, 10 yards this time. And the extra point is going to be no good, as it looked like the kicker slipped prior to getting up to that football. Even still, it looked like it had a chance to go through the uprights, but went just below. So it'll remain a 15-9 game. And still looking for an extra point following a touchdown here in this one. As Midway comes back out for their next offensive possession, or to receive this kickoff, I should say. Another good drive for Bellarmine, who's put together some extended drives here in this one thus far tonight. As Javari Burnett back to receive this kickoff. He waits at the 10-yard line. A couple of good returns for Burnett thus far tonight. Better than his last one that he got up to the 40-yard line for Midway. As Barak set to boot this thing away. The sophomore kicker approaching the football, toe to leather. And hauled in here by Burnett, who tries to get to the left side of the field, does so, now needs some blocking. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds right around the 30. And now we'll see what they can do with this starting field position. It was a quick drive on their first drive of this second half. Looking for a more sustained drive here on this possession. Try to answer back after Bellarmine just scored on the 10-yard passing touchdown. As Midway looked like they were penalized on that return, or following the return, so they're going to move the football back to the 20-yard line. Didn't see a flag. Perhaps just stepped out of bounds. Either way, Midway will start this drive from the 20. Carter being pressured. He's got to try to get out of there. Somehow throws that ball away. And fortunately, it falls harmlessly to the turf, but he was really being chased around by Luke Jackson in the backfield. The Bellarmine linebacker got back there in a hurry. Carter Schroyer also back there chasing after him. Second and 10 upcoming now. As Carter looks to his right now, takes the snap, hands this one off, and tackled after a minimal to no gain on that carry. As that was Mike Anderson bringing that one right up the middle. And brings up a long third down now, 3rd and 10 after officially no gain for Mike Anderson. Carter's got it, looking to his left, got his man, but hit almost immediately following the reception, as that was Keegan Hill coming up with that one, but not enough for the first down, as that'll bring up 4th and 7, and Midway will bring out the punting unit. As here we go with Preston Moore set to kick this thing away. Bellarmine return man waiting at the 47. As Moore with some good punts thus far tonight, and add this one to the list as well. And this is not good, as the return man just gets plowed over. And there's no flag near where he got popped down. And now we got some stuff to sort out, as he could have potentially been blocked into his own player there. As Lance Weeder was waiting back for the punt, all of a sudden he just gets clobbered. So the official's going to meet here and discuss things. Could be a huge call in this game. A lengthy discussion here for the officiating crew. Looks like the Bellarmine defenders on the field as it stands right now. And holding on the offense is the call. So they're going to have to re-kick this thing. Some of the Eagle contingency below us doesn't love the call. Did see the flag on the far right side of the field, back where that punt took place. As Moore's going to have to try it again. Now Weeder coming back out. Glad to see he's okay. He took a shot. The officials still meeting off to our left. Midway standing right around the 24-yard line. That's where they initially punted it from, so they're going to have to back up to the 14. But still some confusion amongst our officiating crew, as now they're going to talk to Midway head coach Albert Kern. Discuss everything to him. Cheerleaders here trying to do their best to keep the crowd engaged during this lengthy delay. As officiating crew still discussing things here. And now our head referee facing the press box. So holding against Bellarmine now. And they're going to say Bellarmine football, first down. Not sure exactly how they came to that conclusion. The original call was a hold on Midway, changed it to a hold on Bellarmine. And we'll see where they put this football down for the Knights. Now they're going to walk it a long way back to the 22-yard line, and that is where Bellarmine will begin things, following their third penalty of the evening. Under 10 to play here in this third quarter. Horvath, snap goes over his head as he's got to go back and try to fall on top of it. Couple Midway defenders in on that as well. They think they have it, and they do. Second Bellarmine turnover of the game, and this one a big one, as Midway will have the football deep in Knight territory now. And the snap just high went over the head of Horvath, and he could not jump on top of it. They did have one more opportunity to get on that football, but couldn't quite do it. And now they'll take over on a first and goal situation with the ball resting at the 9-yard line. Carter's got it. Gonna hand this one off, working up the middle, and nothing doing there. As Quintel Thomas had no room to operate, a couple of Bellarmine Knights jump on him quickly. He might have even lost a yard on the carry that time. As Thomas going to come over to the sideline. The freshman Mike Anderson back out there. Clock now ticking under 9 minutes to play in this third. Carter fires this one off to the right. He's got a man back there. And caught for the touchdown. What a throw, what a catch, and Midway has knotted this thing up again. Trying to get the receiver on that. It was on the far side of the field. That might have been Preston Moore. Work to confirm that here. And now the extra point. They're able to get this one up and through. Would give Midway their first lead of the evening. As the snap and hold are good, the extra point is no good. And we remain tied up, this time at 15. It was Lucas Wilder on the reception on that TD. And Midway has battled back once again. And once again, we're knotted up. On the 11-yard touchdown pass. What an entertaining ball game this has been. Thus far, Midway looking for their first win in Midwest Sprint Football League of the season. And the debut of their brand new turf field. As I mentioned, first game on campus in school history. You can't let the first game in school history result in a loss. Gotta find a way to get the win here if you're the Eagles. History's on their side. As they'll boot this thing away with 8:47 left in the third quarter of play. Wilder's got it on the tee. Now he approaches, and that is a beautiful kick hauled in at the 15-yard line. Trying to work it up the middle of the field, and he has got to be met by a host of Eagles that time. Joseph Flanagan, one of the first guys to get to him. And he got a lot of help from his friends as well. All kinds of Eagles there to make that stop, and Bellarmine will start their next possession here. As the ball is set down on the 33-yard line. So we'll see how they navigate things here as they're going to bring two running backs in the backfield. Two receivers on the near side, one to the far side as it's going to be handoff to Brendan Reed, and Midway once again ready for it. As that was number 41, Aiden Weatherholt, again coming up for the big stop. And Weatherholt's had a good night here. Minimal gain, if any at all, on the carry that time by Reed. Now 2nd and 10 upcoming. The crowd starting to pick up their volume down below us. The toss down the middle of the field, and they're going to say that is a catch for the first down. Great job there by Nathan Kitchens, the 6-foot freshman, getting his big paws underneath that football. And Bellarmine with their 11th first down of the ball game. Now 1st and 10. Bellarmine back in Midway territory as that ball sits on the 46-yard line. Two receivers each side of the formation here. And another awkward snap, but Horvath able to track that one down and then fired it across the middle of the field and well short of his intended target. Derek Gant was the intended guy. Gant wanted a penalty, thought he was hit late. The Midway defender that time honestly thought Gant may have had the football. I don't blame him for jumping on top of him. Either way, it's going to bring up a second down, 2nd and 10 here. Just over 7 minutes left here in this third quarter of play. Horvath moves Reed up to his right, and another bad snap. This time Horvath able to at least cover it up for a moment before Reed comes away with it, and he is going to be tackled for a major loss here. Looked like Josiah Sander and Gavin Lay going back to eventually make the tackle, but it's going to be a loss of about 10. And bad snaps have really become the story of the game for Bellarmine the last couple of drives. That's a handful of them, and it keeps backing them up. That's going to make it a long third down now. 3rd and north of 20. As Horvath runs up to the line, says something. Now he's back in his quarterback position, and prior to the snap, we're going to get a stoppage in play. And a timeout called by Bellarmine here with 6:21 left in the third quarter of play. We'll step aside for a quick timeout as well. Stick with us. We've got more MSFL football coming right up from Midway University. .621 left here in this third quarter of play. Coming out of the timeout, all squared up at 15 here, and a huge third down upcoming for Bellarmine. 3rd and 22. The number up on the scoreboard. We'll see how they attack things here as Horvath has the snap. Obviously looking to throw, and he throws this one deep down the field. Receiver diving for it and makes the catch. Wow. And a fantastic throw that time by Horvath as he connects with his man. I believe that was Tong again. And a big first down. By the way, that touchdown for Midway here in this third quarter, their first touchdown in the second half of the season. So potentially got something cooking here tonight, but got to come up with some defensive stops. Their opportunity was there. And a big play, and now followed by an even bigger play as Brendan Reed takes it in from 20 yards out, and Bellarmine back on top. So back and forth we go. First successful extra point of the game, and Bellarmine jumps on top. Now 22-15 the score. And we've got just over 5 minutes left here in this third quarter of play. That's where you need an answer if you're the Eagles. Did a nice job answering after giving up that last touchdown. Back goes Jabari Burnett. Burnett standing back around the 10-yard line. Barak with the ball on the tee at the 35. Set to kick this thing away, and it's a low line drive. That's going to be picked up right around the 23-yard line And able to get it up to about the 30, so Midway will start there for their next possession. Officially 8 yards on the return for the Eagles. Guys on that Midway sideline trying to motivate each other. Keep their heads in the game. That's Carter. Has the snap, going to turn around, hands this one off. Quintel Thomas trying to advance it up the middle, maybe picks up a couple yards on the carry that time. So we've still got a light rain falling here at Midway University. It's pretty well subsided at this point. Just a light sprinkle. Now 2nd and 8 upcoming here. Once again, Carter will go from the shotgun. This time he looks to throw as he's got to try to evade some pressure, but can't do it that time as Luke Jackson drags him down for the loss. And that's going to be a loss of about 4, make it closer to 6 on the loss that time, and we'll make up a long 3rd and 14 upcoming here. Looks like we've got an Eagle needing a shoe retying. Gavin Lay gets that taken care of. And now Carter once again pressured in the backfield. And once again he is going to be slung down to the turf. As that was 53, Royce Hall, the junior defensive lineman, getting into the backfield and dragging him down for a loss. And that'll bring up 4th down, and Midway will punt it away once more. So back out comes Preston Moore, who's had a busy couple of weeks from the punter position. The Bellarmine return man awaits back at the 50-yard line as Moore's punt yet again is a good one, and it's fair caught right around the 48-yard line. So Bellarmine will start this possession inside Midway territory at the 48. So we've got under 3 to play here in this 3rd quarter of action. 22-15, Knights on top, looking to make it 4-0 against Midway all time. Here comes their offense up to the line. Horvath has been far from good here in this game, but he has been a great game manager thus far. As he pulls Brendan Reed up to his right side. Hands off to Reed here, who works it to the left side of the formation, and Midway ready for him again. I believe that was Luke Guerrero, the junior linebacker, coming up to make the stop. Can't say it enough how good this Midway rush defense has been in this one tonight. Seems like every time Bellarmine carries the football, just 2-3 yards. And this time they've got 2 running backs in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff here to Derek Gann. He's trying to get to the outside right, and they read it well again. But we do have a flag down on the field. It was Brandon Coulter coming up to make the stop for the Eagles. Few yards, about 4 yards shy of that 1st down marker. They're going to call a holding here. So they'll step now, 2nd and 17. As Horvath has it, hands this one off to Reed, and once again, nothing doing there. Once more, looked like Luke Guerrero, the first one to the ball carrier. Brings up a long third down now as we're under 2 to play here in this third quarter. Bellarmine approaching the line now. Horvath with an empty backfield, 5 wide. As he's got it now, a beautiful ball down the middle of the field and caught, and he will get all the way into the end zone for the 55-yard touchdown pass. And Bellarmine scores another time, and now they are on top by 2 scores. As that was Nathan Kitchens on the reception. Had a big reception on that last play or drive for Bellarmine. And this time rewarded with the 55-yard bomb. Extra point is up and through, so that'll make it now 29-15 as Bellarmine has jumped on top by 2 scores, their biggest lead of the night. And now Midway really needs an answer as we've got about a minute 15 left here in this third quarter. Minute 17 to be exact. Got to put together a good drive here. So we'll see if they're able to do that. It's going back to return the kickoff. Same guy that's been back there all night, Javari Burnett. Now the Bellarmine kicking unit comes onto the field. And Barak set to kick this thing off again. It's been very good on kickoffs tonight. This time a low one against the ground, worm burner if you will, as it's picked up beyond the 30, now beyond the 40, up to almost the 50-yard line before being knocked out of bounds. And Midway, how about that, needing an answer on this drive, will get great starting field position at the 48-yard line. So short porch here to try to get another score up on the scoreboard. Got a minute and 11 seconds left here in this third quarter. So running out of time, not only in the quarter, but in the ball game. Gonna need to start putting together some scoring drives, as it's gonna be a handoff here to Thomas, who breaks right up through the middle beyond the 40-yard line before he's tackled down. So how about that burst for a Midway first down? Thomas now well over 100 yards for the game. And first and 10, now ball inside of Bellarmine territory. Quintel Thomas gets the handoff again, and he is going to be dropped back for a loss of 3. Brings up a long second down now, second and about 13 upcoming. So we've got 20 seconds left here in this quarter. We'll see if the Eagles decide to run another play or not. They're certainly not looking like they're in any sort of hurry. They don't have to if they don't want to, and it doesn't look like they're going to. As we're down to 5, and that'll bring us to the end of 3 quarters of play. Bellarmine 29, Midway 15, as it was a big third quarter for the Knights as they have jumped on top by 2 scores. We'll step aside for a break here, come back on the other side, and we'll bring you the fourth quarter of action here from Midway. And fourth quarter underway now, as it's been an entertaining game thus far. 29-15, Bellarmine with the lead, but a huge play here to begin the fourth quarter, as Christian Carter was slung down for a big loss, and he fumbles the football at the end of the play, and the Knights take over. Third turnover of the night for Midway. By the way, I mentioned Quintel Thomas over 100 yards here in this one. Just the second Midway player ever to cross the 100-yard mark in a game, so congratulations to him. Matthew Young, the other one, in a game last season against Walsh, rushed for 140 yards in a contest. Things with a bad turn here as Bellarmine back in possession to begin this fourth and final frame. And now going deep towards the end zone. And they are going to rule that the catch was made. What a reception that time, as that was hauled in by Nathan Kitchens, the last touchdown scorer for the Knights. Now they are going to have a first and goal situation here inside the 5-yard line. Looks like they set that ball right down on the 3. And no surprise, Brendan Reed in the backfield. But it doesn't matter, as that is just going to be pushed in. I don't know, they're going to say he comes up a little short. Looked like Horvath had enough momentum to find the end zone there, but a great job once more by the defenders for Midway. Coming up to make the stop, at least initially. That's Bellarmine taking their time to get back up to the line. Don't blame them with a 2-score lead. At this point, your only goal if you're the Knights is to try to salt away the clock, as Horvath again will try to push it in. Still no signal, but they've got him marked short as of now, so that'll bring up a third and goal. Well done once more by Midway, standing tall. We are 2 minutes through this fourth quarter. Bellarmine. Do they go for the quarterback sneak one more time? It's been 2 plays this drive, 2 quarterback sneaks. We'll see if they try to punch it in again. Instead, it's going to be a toss out to the right. And Gant will scamper into the end zone with ease for his first touchdown of the contest from 1 yard out. And Bellarmine has busted this thing wide open, now leading 35-15. Knights have been one of the better teams in the Midwest Sprint Football League this season, and they have really asserted their dominance here in this second half tonight. Snap is good. The hold had to be adjusted, but the kick is up and through, so that'll make it 36-15 now. Bellarmine on top by 3 scores. As we've got 12:35 left in this ball game. See what kind of life remains in Midway. Quickly, they're back out on the field, ready to receive the kickoff. After that first half, in which was a 9-9 score, Hard to look up at the scoreboard now and see that 36-15 score line. As Bellarmine has outscored Midway 27-6 here in this second half. It's really the second halves that have been the bugaboo for this team all season long. Find a way to come out with the same energy and enthusiasm in the second half. And Brock set to boot this thing away. And this time a better kick, let it go. And they do as it rolls out of bounds. Nothing else, good starting field position here for the Eagles. Tanner Clark, the sophomore for Midway, pumped up as he gets over to the sideline. They're going to set the football down at the 35-yard line. So we'll see what the Eagles can cook up here with 12 and a half minutes left here in this ball game. Carter looking to throw this one, fires it over the middle, and that's going to be complete. Gain of about 9 that time as Javari Burnett comes back to make the catch. Beautifully thrown ball. Well timed there by Burnett as well to come back and get it. And that sets up a 2nd and 1 here. Quickly back up to the line as Burnett remains in at wide receiver on the near side. You got Preston Moore on the far side for Midway. And pressured out of the backfield. Now he's got to try to take off with it, and he gets the first down. Well done there by Christian Carter. He felt the pressure, stepped up into the pocket, and was able to pick up 2 yards on the carry. So a fresh set of downs now for the Eagles. Quickly, they come up to the line here. Ball nestled at the 46-yard line. Just over 11 minutes to play here in this contest. Quick throw out to the right, and that's going to be hauled in by Quintel Thomas, but he loses yardage on the reception that time. Lost about 5 yards that time. Quintel Thomas has been an important part of what this team has wanted to do all night long. Now Carter walks up, says something to his lineman. Thomas, the running back, as he'll look to throw it this time, was looking right over the middle, but that ball falls incomplete. Intended for Javari Burnett again. Not Javari Burnett. It was actually Nate Mitchell, the intended target that time. As we're down to 10 and a half minutes left here in this one. 3rd and 15 now for Midway. Carter's got it. Faces a little bit of pressure. Now he's just got to get rid of it, and he does. As the catch is made by Quintel Thomas, but well short of the first down marker. And Midway will have to punt it away once again. Preston Moore slow to get back to his punter position. Well, Gimpy out there. Now got under 10 minutes to play here in this ball game. Moore gets it off. And another good one, but it's mishandled. Now ball loose. Let's see who got on top of this thing. And they're going to say Bellarmine recovered it, but that was interesting there. As a return man could not catch that cleanly. And it nearly cost the Knights. As here they come back out onto the field. They've been an offensive juggernaut here in this second half. Putting up 27 after just 9 first half points. Approaching the line here. 2 in the backfield with Horvath. Flanked to each side by a running back. Fakes the handoff. Now throws it over the middle. He's got his man. That's Kitchens again. And Kitchens will take this one to the house. 76 yards on the pitch and catch that time. Second touchdown of the night by Kitchens. Both of them north of 55 yards. And that was a huge strike. Puts the Knights in complete control of this one. Now 42-15. The extra point. Trying to be knocked through again. New extra point kicker as it's Orlando Roblero. And this time it's up and in as that'll make it 43-15 now. As Bellarmine keeps their foot on the gas pedal. Now up by a comfortable margin, make it 28. As Midway set to get the football back and running out of time to make something happen as we're down to 9:32 left in this one. We'll step aside for a break here, come back on the other side with more from Midway. And following the touchdown, Bellarmine set to boot this thing away, give it back to Midway. Well, we got some time. Let's get you some other scores from around the Midwest Spread Football League. 2 other league games in action today as Walsh was at Oakland City. That was a 2 p.m. kickoff. Walsh gets it done by the slimmest of margins, 21-20 over Oakland City. As here we are on the kickoff return, and another good return here by Burnett. Gets it up to almost the 50-yard line. By the way, the other league game today, Quincy at Calumet, and it was a 20-6 win for Calumet. Down to 9:24 left here in this one. We'll see how Midway attacks things here. Trailing by 28. As they will have good starting field position thanks to the kickoff return. Starting at the 49-yard line, but Christian Carter faces pressure in the backfield, much like he's felt all night long. The Midway offensive line started this game out very well. A good job protecting Carter. But here in the last quarter and a half or so, hasn't really been the case. As Carter takes the snap once again, looks to throw it over the middle, and once more it falls incomplete. 3rd and 10 upcoming. So ball still nestled at the 49-yard line. 10 yards to gain on the 3rd down here. And another sack as Carter going to be drugged down for a huge loss here. So he loses about 8 yards once again, and Midway going to have to give this thing right back to Bellarmine, who just scored moments ago. So we're under 9 minutes to play here in this one. Lance Weeder waiting back to field this punt. As Moore awaits the snap. It's a good one, and the punt end over end. Beautiful. It lands short, but it takes a Midway bounce. And it's going to land right at the 20-yard line. And that is where Bellarmine will take over to start their next possession. It's been a lot of good stuff this second half for the Knights. Coach Harold Davis has had to like what he saw out of his squad here in this second half to give him some good feelings moving forward, as they're going to move up to 3-0 on the season, also 3-0 in Midwest Sprint Football League standings. As now chased out of the backfield is Horvath. Going to try to use his legs, but now he finally throws it, and he has got a completion. As that's going to be a first down on the reception. That time was Kendrick Jackson. But we do have a flag on the play, so we'll see what this is all about here. That's going to go against Bellarmine. Legal man downfield, the call, as that's the 6th penalty, I should say, against Bellarmine here tonight. So that'll take the football all the way back to the 16. Horvath going to hand this one off. And advance it up the field. He has got some room. And this is going to be potentially another long touchdown. One man to beat. And he will be drugged down at the 1-yard line. Great defensive effort. Not allowing him to get the easy score there. Believe that was Ben Goodluck chasing him down. By the way, Kyle Horvath in the second half, 7 of 8 passing for 254 yards. That is an impressive stat line. As now he'll try to shove this one in. And he'll come up just short. Tell you what, the goal line defense for Bellarmine here in this second half, or in this game, really has been very good. Down under 7 minutes to play here in this one now, as the Knights just continue to pour it on. I'm sure Coach Davis on that far sideline just wants to melt some of this clock away, but you have so many big-time explosive plays, hard to do that. As we're going to get a penalty prior to this next play. That's going to be a false start called against Bellarmine, so back him up 5 yards here. 7th time they've been penalized here in this one. Second and goal now from the 6-yard line for Bellarmine. So that penalty perhaps changes the play calling here. That's Horvath with a man in motion. He's got Reed in the backfield to his left. Horvath rolling to his right, fires towards the end zone, and he's got the touchdown, another one. And trying to see who caught that. I believe it was Tyler Smith. That is Horvath's 5th passing touchdown of the game. He had 5 of them coming into the game. And now 5 of them here tonight. The extra point is going to fall short, as it'll remain a 49-15 game. Midway looking for some sort of positivity to bring out of this game, as we've got 6 minutes, 6 seconds left. But a 35-point lead, that's horrible math. 34-point lead for Bellarmine. At this point in the game, if you're the Eagles and Coach Kern, got to look for something positive to take into next week. By the way, Bellarmine set to take on Calumet next week. Oakland City at St. Mary of the Woods. You've got Walsh at Quincy as well. Bellarmine will get, or Midway rather, will get a bye next week. They're off until October 12th, when they're right back here at this brand new turf field against Quincy. Final home game will be on October 26th as they host Walsh. As the kickoff here by Barack, a short one, hauled in at the 21, and not much on the return either, as he gets it up to about the 29-yard line, maybe closer to the 30. And it looks like a flag flew in late at the conclusion of that play. Or maybe not. And there's the call, unsportsmanlike conduct against Midway. So back them up a little more. You know, for as bad as this second half has been, though, that's just the first penalty of the second half against the Eagles. Only their 3rd of the game by my count. Get you those official numbers in our postgame here tonight. Coach Kern's also supposed to come up and join us here in the booth at the conclusion of this one. As here's the toss off to the right. Very little room to operate that time, as that was a new ball carrier into the game for Midway. Charles Adams on the carry that time. Brings up 2nd and 8 now for Midway. Carter aggressively claps and takes the snap. That is not Carter, I don't think. It's not. It's actually the sophomore, 6'2", out of Nashville, Tennessee, Tanner Clark, in the game at quarterback. They pick up the first down there. Under 5 to play here in this contest. 4.5 to play. As Clark hands this one off. And another big run here for Thomas, who busted to the outside beyond the 50 and shoved out of bounds right around the 46. And Quintel Thomas has been a real bright spot for this Midway team this season, especially tonight. The most ever yards from scrimmage for a Midway player is 201. That was set by Chase Williams earlier this season. And Quintel Thomas just broke the rushing record with that last carry, 142 yards now for him. Stopped in the backfield, but able to get back to the line of scrimmage. I mentioned Matthew Young, who's down on that Midway sideline. Banged up sitting out of this one tonight, 140 yards in a game last year at Walsh. But Thomas with a fantastic night here tonight. Unfortunately for him, it's going to come in a losing effort. So we've got just over 3 minutes left in this one now. Midway back in Bellarmine territory. As Clark going to turn around, hands this one off. Not a whole lot of room there. Down to 150 seconds left in this one. Clark awaits the snaps, got it now. Looks to throw this one over the middle, and that was tipped by one of the defenders for Bellarmine. I believe that was Hunter Johnson, the freshman out of Louisville, that got his hands on that one. That'll bring up 4th and 11, and Midway will once again punt it away as Preston Moore has had a very busy night. Snap nearly over his head, but he's able to corral it. And a good one here as it takes a bounce back and should be down very close to the end zone. How about the 1 yard line? And that's how you do it, Mr. Moore. As that was downed at the 1 yard line by Omarion Riddick, who's had a pretty good night here tonight. Under 2 to play here in this one, as both teams going to head over to their sidelines. Number of people headed for the exits here. Turned out to be a fantastic night for some football. That rain has completely made its way out of the area at this point. We'll see how Bellarmine attacks things here. Ball sitting at the 1 yard line with 1:59 to play. And complete control of this game, 49-15 the score. They're going to rush this one up on the middle, or up the middle on first down. Looks like they just did get it back to the line of scrimmage. So we'll bring up 2nd and 10 here. Bellarmine likely just trying to chew up as much of this remaining clock as they possibly can. 13 on the play clock. Now down to 10. And they still haven't approached the line. Down to 5 on the play clock. Now 1 and 0 as they will call the timeout here with 1 minute and 8 seconds left here in this one. And with that timeout, they should just be able to snap it 2 more times and run out the entirety of this game clock. But both teams will head over to their sidelines. Reminder, stick with us. We'll do a post-game show following this contest. Get you some updated statistics from this one. Take a look at what's upcoming as well, and we should also hear from Midway head coach Albert Kern in the post-game here tonight. So here we go now on 2nd and 10. As a betting man, which I am, I would say run here, and it will be. And you got to stay in bounds, young fella. So he runs out of bounds, and that's going to stop the clock. That's Logan Presley in the game at quarterback now, and he's probably going to get an earful on that Bellarmine sideline from Coach Harold Davis. Got to know your time and place. As that's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 now. Presley remains in at quarterback here. So he'll hand this one off. No room to work there, as that may have lost a yard on that carry. As that'll bring up 4th down, looking at 4th and 9 here, and due to Presley running out of bounds, they're not going to be able to salt away the entirety of this clock. We're down to 30 seconds left in the game, but just 12 on the play clock. Bellarmine unnecessarily going to have to run another play here. But they're not going to get this one off in time. As we're going to get another timeout called here by the Knights. And at this point, why do we even have to go over to our sidelines? 11 seconds left in this game, 49-15. Just send a play call out there and run it. Briskly played first half here tonight. The second half, due to all the scoring and penalties, has taken a significant while longer. As both teams now coming out onto the field. Final 11 seconds remaining in this game. Everything but that final whistle is pretty well decided. Bellarmine going to bring out their punter. Even in a 49-15 win, there's still things you can learn. And the coaching staff for Bellarmine knows that, as this one is hauled in. And trying to take it all the way back as we're getting down. We're down to 2 seconds now left on the game clock. As that was Lucas Wilder on the return, but a flag flies in at the end of that play. Now the official coming to make the call. And it's a personal foul against Midway, but it's not going to do anything to change the result here. That is just the 4th penalty of the ballgame for the Eagles. Midway will just have to run one play here. As the stands below us clearing out. There's the referee whistle. One snap here, and we'll be through with the game as it's going to be a handoff to Quintel Thomas. Might as well try to get him a yard or two more to pad that record. And that will do it here tonight. 49-15 the final score as Bellarmine outscores Midway in the second half. 40-6 is the total in the second half of play. So some things to buckle up in the second half for Midway moving forward in this season. But they fall here in this one to drop to 0-3 on the season. Bellarmine now up to 3-0 on the year as well. We'll step aside for a break here. We'll track down some final statistics. We'll also hear from Coach Kern coming up as well. So stick with us. We've got more coming up here from Midway University.